Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch.
Saturday night is the loneliest night in the week.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour with the one and only Fishman.
I know that, dude.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Everyone get out!
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic. Like listening to Toxic Radio?
Goddamn right.
But don't forget, this is the 21st century. Join us in the social media world. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pornhub.
Pornhub?
Ah, just kidding. Or am I? Toxic Radio. Get infected. Hey, buddy. Raw. Hey, man, that's a sweet heavy metal happy hour t-shirt. Where'd you pick that up?
Thanks, dude. I got it at the Toxic Radio shop.
Toxic Radio has a shop?
Yeah, dude. It's in the app or online at toxicradio.net.
That is sweet.
Yeah, and I also got a rockin' Toxic Radio hoodie and a Red Band Underground shirt. Dude, I'm gonna look so rockin' at the party tomorrow.
Well, I think you look pretty now.
Oh, wait, what?
The Toxic Radio shop is the place to get all your Toxic Radio gear. Shirts, hoodies, stickers. Find it at toxicradio.net or on the app. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic. Hey, where you going, man? Hey, miss an episode of Relationships 101? Don't sweat it. We got you covered. You can catch up on episodes on the Toxic Radio app, toxicradio.net, or wherever you get podcasts, like iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, and Odyssey. And don't forget to follow John on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Remember, just like any relationship, communication is key. Keep in touch.
What's going on, everybody? I want to thank you for joining me. Do me a favor, run that track a little longer, please. Gotta love that beat. That's so sexy. Yeah, run that track, because I'm about to send some food for thought out for everybody. First of all, thank you for joining me, John Evans. I'll be your doctor of love for the next 60 minutes. And this podcast right here is the hottest one in the game for relationships. It's called Relationships 101. Now, the food for thought I'm going to start this podcast with is, if you want the most successful, amazing relationship on the planet, you got to treat it like it's the most successful, amazing relationship on the planet. What you put into it, you will get out of it. I promise you that. And trust me, if you're not aligned with this, then reset your focus, because trust me, we're going to be talking about some heavy things tonight, and it's going to help everyone in their quest for love. Now, I have two people joining me tonight. I have this young lady to my side, the queen of Toxic Radio. Hey, tell everybody your name.
Hi, everybody. My name is Laura, and I am the boss bitch here. Thank you.
All right. This young man next to me, he is no longer a guest. No longer a guest. He's been on here way too many times, and I welcome him each and every time. Yeah, tell him who you are and where you're from.
Jesus. You see the nameplate. Mr. Entertainment. Entertaining is what I do. My podcast is right before this great show here is the Entertainment Experience. I am Mr. Entertainment. Entertaining is what I do. And I am the one that fired Mike tonight. Hi, Toxic Queen.
Hi, honey. It's my boo-boo.
All right. Let's spread the love. Let's spread the love. Now, like I said, and I tell everyone, first of all, thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Now, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel in no way, shape, or form. All I'm doing is helping you navigate these water called love. Now, we have questions, and I appreciate everyone who, goes to the website and leaves their questions because, for one, I realize it is difficult to ask for help, and especially in a relationship, it's just that much more difficult because you're putting your feelings out there. Now, first question is entitled Family Reunion. He left his name out of this, but what he said was him and his cousin went to their family reunion. They was having a good time. They met two young ladies there. Started having a good time with these young ladies, drinking, eating, and everything. Well, then they decide to go and get a hotel, hook up with these two young ladies. And they do that. They got one room and it's 4 of them in there. So they having sex. They getting it into the point where they switched on each other.
Thank you.
Right. So afterwards, they go back to the family reunion, enjoy some food, get more alcohol, and while they're laughing and bullshitting, his dad comes up to him and says, "Son, are you having a good time? I see that you met your cousins."
Ew.
Now shit gets deeper.
Mm.
Because he already went through with the act, he wants to know, was it wrong if he still keeps, let's just say, in contact with that cousin?
Well, I mean, are they first cousins? Are they second cousins?
Blood is blood.
Exactly.
Blood is blood.
Well,
I don't know.
This ain't Game of Thrones.
I don't judge too much.
Well, here's my thing right here. Okay, if I'm at a family reunion, whoever I meet, my very first question is, "Who's your people?"
Right.
You know,
right.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just meticulous like that.
Right.
But
So
that is my first question.
Yeah, I want to know. I would want to know. How are we related, or what brought you to the dance here? You know what I'm saying? Like, who invited you? Are you family? Or are you friend?
Put a pin in that, please.
Man, Laura, I get what you're saying. First cousin, second cousin, I get that.
Yeah.
Because if if it goes down and trickles down the line, whereas though you're not first, second, or third, it's like, but even still, for me, I'm like, why did I do that? But these are questions he should have asked. You had a family reunion, bro.
Exactly. Let me say shout out to one of the hottest podcasts in the game right now, the Drunk Unks. You can find him on all major streaming platforms. Special shout out to Lonnie Moore. You'll like tonight's topic. Now, let me say this. As far as the whole family reunion goes, to answer his question, the question was he wrong? No, you are not wrong. You're sick. Now, let me say that. You're
Morbidly.
Exactly. That's your cousin. Leave it there. You made a mistake. Matter of fact, what you do is that situation
right.
you was in, you put that thing in a box and throw that bitch out in the middle of the Atlantic so no one can open that back up again.
And then I got to say this, man. Laura, think about this.
Listen, I didn't say it was for me.
No. Think about this.
I'm not going to judge somebody who met their fourth cousin and had a connection with them. I mean, I don't know.
Huh?
The holidays would be extremely awkward.
Right. Imagine Thanksgiving. Imagine Christmas. Imagine birthday celebrations. Imagine a wedding plan. Imagine all these things happening, and then you got to see this said cousin, whereas though it's like, yo, I flip tossed her ass. And no, my thing is, I get where you're coming from, Laura. I really do. I get where you're coming from. But my thing is that for this guy to ask this, to throw this out there like a boomerang and to get the effect to come back to where as though it's like, okay.
Well, he must not be getting laid from anybody else. So otherwise,
so should
why
it
would
be
he be
family?
Right.
So should it be family?
I don't know, man.
Brad says he went to a family reunion. How did he not know they were related? Because he didn't ask the right questions.
Right.
Here's what I'm going to say. So
Shoot.
My late husband was half Native American.
Okay.
He was half Cherokee.
So am I.
His mom lives just off the reservation in North Carolina.
Okay.
That entire town,
Mm-hmm.
the entire town consists of 3 last names. No more, no less. They're all related. So I kind of, I mean,
So, Laura, let me spin this on you real quick.
Yeah.
Check it out. We related, okay? Just saying, we're related, you and I.
How are we related?
We're cousins.
By
We ain't kissing
what?
cousins. We're cousins. Just
Okay.
hear me out. Just hear me
Okay,
out.
we cousins.
So we're also related to John, right? So John
Hey, John.
has started
What's
the
going on?
family
Because-
reunion, right? And we show up, right? And we go there. We're enjoying ourselves as cousins to John, to Jamie, to Warren, you know. And we have Toxic Mike, okay, who rolls in with 2 or 3 other people, right? We didn't ask the question of, hey, are you related? You see what I'm saying? Are you related to John? Are you related to Laura? Are you related to Warren? Are you related to Jamie? You see what I'm saying? Or are you related to Mike? We just dive in and say, you know what? Let's go to Days Inn. We dive in. Let's go to Days Inn and make business happen. And then we come back. And then it springs on us that, hey, glad you're meeting your cousins. Whereas though, for instance, Laura, you're a female. You come to a family reunion, you got girlfriends. Just say that. You got girlfriends. You bring your girlfriends along. You're like, all right, well, come on, we have a good time. If they're not family and they say, right, John, we ask that question, hey, are you a part of family? No, I'm here with Laura. You know, Laura wanted us to be here to have a good time. That's a totally different situation. The questions never was asked.
Well, here's the thing. It's wrong on so many levels. And we're going to leave it at that because we got a lot to unpack here. We have a lot to unpack
You draw the
here.
hard line, John.
Dave,
My line's not that hard.
Dave says if the local gene pool is no deeper than your ankles, you might need to travel to the next pool. I'm sorry, I don't want no sex from first, second, third, fourth, or fifth cousins. I'm
4,
sorry.
6, 7, 8.
I'm
9,
sorry.
10.
That's where I draw the line. That's the line in the sand right there. Allison chimes in. She says, how can you not have an opinion about it? This is very disturbing.
Right.
Wrong is wrong, and genetics prove that with the deformities from such interaction.
Right, Allison. Oh my God.
Well,
man.
I mean, like I said,
I think my point stands. Sorry, John.
now, mind you, and I want to say this: there are no wrong, answers here. Everyone has a right to their own opinion, but my thing here is no sex at all from blood. So,
right. No sex in the champagne room.
I
don't disagree.
We're gonna move on. Like I said, we got a lot to unpack here, and this episode is only 60 minutes. This one is entitled "Good People Still Exist." Says, I was a waiter in a cafe and was serving a guy who was waiting for his blind date to show up. The girl showed up 30 minutes late and was far from beautiful and overweight. I got a oh well look from him when she went to the bathroom. There was even a point where I saw them laughing and joking together. Even paid for the bill. I caught the guy right before he left, and I had to ask him how he felt about the chick that showed up. He laughed and said it wasn't great. I told him, well, it looked like you guys were having a good time. He told me that girl probably has never been on a date where the guy paid and was genuinely nice.
Aw.
She did nothing wrong and deserves to be treated like a beauty every now and
I
then.
love him.
Now, I like this because we don't get stories like this on a podcast. We rarely get a story like this. They're normally horrific. Please keep them coming. But they're relatively horrific.
The last show, yeah.
This one was on point. That was a straight gentleman right there. I commend his actions. That's what's up, She did nothing wrong, not everyone. And this was a blind date. When you're on a blind date, you expect anything. You set the bar high, but what actually shows up or what actually happens is a totally different story. So, he kept his composure. He treated her good, and you can only respect a person like that.
That's the hints for a blind date. You get what's coming to you. Right, Laura?
I love him. I think he's great. I don't even know him. I almost cried. That story I thought was beautiful.
Very compelling.
Yeah, I think that, he did the right thing. He did the right thing, whereas though he could have won a different way, but he chose, to be himself and not look at, what people would think, opposed to the fact that, this is what he felt was the right thing to do. That was dope. I like it.
And you never know.
I'm not crying.
There
though.
could have been. There could.
Not crying.
Okay. Well, I'm not like really crying, but
No, I know. I was getting there.
it was emotional. And
Mike
you
can
never
bring
know.
the
There could have been a connection there.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Like there could have been a connection. Like they could have had something in common and everything else going forward. Hell, they probably do have a lot of things in common, which is crazy. So
Right.
Maybe they'll
You
end
never
up being
know.
friends.
yeah,
You
yeah.
never know.
But I would like to see going forward if there's a recap.
If you're out there, we read your question. You didn't leave your name, but if you're involved in the story, please chime back in and let me know.
Absolutely.
I guess we're having some technical difficulties. I don't know, but we're. I'm going to give some shout outs to a few people that's chimed in the comments box. First of all, shout out to Tanya Grooms Butler, a loyal watcher of the show. Thank you. I appreciate you chiming in. She said tonight, as far as the first question about the relatives, that's why she makes an effort to introduce her children to their family. So, and that plays a strong part too. When you know your people, you know your people. But
Right.
yeah, that plays a strong part too.
Right.
So I agree with you 100 times, Tanya, on that one. Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate you. And Brad, once again, loyal watcher, and you know it's going to be a doozy coming from him.
Oh, my.
Brad says that's totally wrong unless the cousin was super hot. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
No family reunions for you, brother.
Right.
That
You
sounds
just-
like Brad,
Yeah, that's definitely
my
Brad.
favorite frenemy.
And once again, the Drunk Unks podcast. Laura, when you was telling your story about that small town, well, their reply was wrong turn ass town. Remember the movie Wrong Turn?
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
I didn't pick my in-laws. Let's just
Right.
say it.
Nah, man.
So
Nah.
yeah, I appreciate everybody for chiming in. The next one, I'm going to touch this with kitten gloves. Try to be
man.
as sensitive as possible. I'm going to protect the names in this and not say them. But it's a married couple. They were having difficulties in their marriage. The wife allowed the husband to add an additional person in their marriage, in their sex life, a woman. They have 5 kids together. And it got to the point where they even started having sharing separate bedrooms. Now, the husband goes out because he was given his hall pass to look for another woman. He finds another woman, and here's where things take a drastic turn. He decides, you know what, I'm going to take this other woman and fuck my whole family, and rolls.
He did a Richie from
Let
Harlem
me say
Nights?
this. Yeah. He did a Richie from Harlem Nights, Sunshine. Let me say this. If they're laughing behind the boards at that one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'll say this. Let me say this because I got a little sidetracked with that comment.
My bad.
They had problems in the bedroom, and I'm a firm advocate of this. And there's so many things that could have been worked out. You know, communication. They should have talked that thing out, and I'm a she apparently one of them had unfulfilled
Desires?
was unfulfilled in the bedroom.
Okay.
You know, so instead of talking it out, coming out with a plan B or working around the matter or whatever, they decide, hey, well, you know, things been a little rocky in the bedroom. How about I treat you to another woman? That's wrong in this universe and in every other one. And it took a left turn fast because this dude, while he's out, you know, looking for his, you know, next conquest, he meets someone that just, you know, totally he decides, you know what, I could bring her back, you know, and share her with my wife, but I think I'm going to hog this to myself.
He ran into Lady Heroin.
No, but he decides that
Harlem Nights, I'm sorry.
he's just going to leave with her altogether. Laura, please talk to me. How do you feel about
Laura.
this? I definitely like a woman's perspective
Yeah,
on this.
because that's
God, where do I even start? That relationship was over at the start. 5 children, and in all that time, he one of them suddenly has unfulfilled desires.
Right.
Like, why didn't you say that? I am a firm believer in saying right at the beginning, what do you like? Just tell me.
There you go.
We need to talk about it.
Yes.
And then you
That's
give
important.
you give your sentiments of what you like as well. Like, yeah, you're right. Go ahead, continue, please.
Sex, just like anything else, is a negotiation.
It's a healthy balance.
It really is, and that just makes me so sad. What did she think was going to happen? That just sounds very desperate.
Right.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It's desperate.
Right.
It's a desperate attempt to keep your husband or your wife, however you want to word that. But realistically, if they weren't going to counseling to work on it together, it wasn't going to last.
Yeah.
This was the inevitable.
Yeah.
That is my opinion.
And that really put failure right on the board. You know, like you said, you know, if they wasn't going to counseling or anything like that, you decide to say, all right, let's skip counseling. I'll do this for you, in the hopes of saying that, okay, maybe he'll come around. But at the same time, you know, you add in a whole different equation.
There's no coming around when you do something like that.
Right. There's no coming around. There's no coming around at all. So, like you said, Laura, it's desperate. It's like you reaching.
Open relationships do not work.
Right.
No.
And then you have to realize, too, that even before this, they were sharing separate bedrooms. So it was already over because they had lost the intimacy. You know, you're not a married couple anymore. You're almost like college roommates.
Mm-hmm.
And then how is that good for your children? It's not. Everybody thinks
all.
staying together is when things are broken is what's better for the children. And in my opinion, it is the exact opposite. You can live a much. Your children need to see you happy and healthy, and they can't do that when you're trying to keep together something that's broken.
You can't salvage trash. Now, think about that. You can't salvage trash because a lot of people will try to salvage and bring back trash. What I'm saying is you can't salvage trash if the relationship is already trashed, whereas though you're in separate rooms.
Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because through counseling, anything can be reconciled and anything can be saved. So,
but they never took that route.
No, they never took that route. But I don't want to say that the marriage was trashed. Because there's other avenues for a healing process.
Right, but they never took those avenues. The first step that was taken was what? Adding another person to the equation of something that was toxic, that was trash.
Like I said, that was a recipe for disaster right there.
Right,
a desperate attempt.
Right, there you go. You know,
and Tanya Grooms Butler says once we separate the bed, I'm out. And I agree with you because once you lose that, you've lost everything. Allison says, seems like they were just trying to stay married and were very desperate to make it work. I don't want to I don't want to say that because there's a lot of variables that we don't have here. It just sounds from what we're given here, it was problems in the bedroom. Now, you know, it could have been a lot of other variables. Jamie says absolutely toxic. Yes, that's what it turned into.
In a bad way.
In a very bad way and fast.
I agree with Allison, though. I really do, because when you think about it, when you separate, listen, you separate bedrooms with your partner, you know something's wrong. Or if your partner separate bedrooms with you, think about it. You know? Like something is not clicking the right way. Now, you know how you feel, okay? Especially if there's no full-blown communication as well. If y'all not talking.
For one, the communication was in the basement because if it wasn't, they would have never went to separate bedrooms.
See?
The sex life would have been salvaged, everything. So their communication just was
thrown off.
It was
non-existent. Yeah, thrown off. So that's where it goes back to what Laura was saying too. You know, the communication is the biggest factor. If you, like you said, when you walk into it, it's like, what do you want? What do you like? You're putting yourself out there for the sake of, you know, the person.
I mean, in my mind, sex is really important to a relationship.
Yes, it is.
It's like really important, and everybody has to be on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't tell your partner what you want, you're not going to get it.
Right.
And forgot what I was going to say to follow that up, but it's just
I
really
got
important.
you. I got you. I'll pick it back.
Communication.
Communication. And your partner should also do the same, vice versa, because this way you both know what you want. This way you're not searching outside for other entities to bring into the equation
ruin
your relationship.
I want to make him or her happy.
Right.
And that's what relationships are about. You know, end goal, two people working and striving to make each other happy.
Right.
Okay, with that being said, we're going to move into tonight's main topic.
Uh-oh.
Love at first sight. Now, I have to give a special shout out to somebody, I hope he's watching. In my earlier podcasting days, before I got to Toxic Radio, I did it out of my living room. And one of the questions I had was love at first sight. 1/3 of the drunk unks, Lonnie Moore, told me that, yes, there is love at first sight because love is an energy. And you can feel that from a person at first sight. Now, we're going to dive into this tonight. And let me start by saying, I've been round and round about this, and knowing how you feel, confessing how you feel, making your mark on how you feel. There's a lot of appeal to love at first sight. Soulmates, true love, and even the one. Well, psychologist / sex therapist Lauren Fogel Mercy says romantic loves require actually knowing someone and their full set before you can claim to feel such an emotion. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
Thank you. I don't agree with that at all.
I'm curious though. Do you? I don't mean to hijack you for a second, but do you believe in love at first sight? Because you don't believe in soulmates. So I'm very curious.
Oh my gosh! Well, for
Laura's
for
hitting below the belt.
For the listeners that's just joining, I did, what was that, about 2-3 weeks ago? I did say that I did not believe in soulmates.
She got her homework over there.
She did. Whoa, okay.
You said that multiple times.
Yes.
Yo, she got her homework.
I did say I don't believe in soulmates.
But the question is genuine. Do you believe in love at first sight? If
I
you
do
do
believe
not,
it. I do believe in love. And I'm
Hey,
actually,
Laura.
Interesting.
hold on, let me get this out.
Go ahead, get it out, spit it.
I'm actually going to redact my saying as
Laura,
far as the
you got him pulling back?
As far as the soulmate goes, I'm redacting that statement.
Laura is making you pull the reins on the horse.
There are soulmates out there.
I
do
know.
I believe in
That's
love
right,
at
Laura.
first sight?
You got to pull the reins now.
If I I
Toxic
believe in love
queen.
at first sight? Yes, I do believe in love at first sight.
Now, can I say this real quick?
Sure.
And this is for both of y'all. Now, with love at first sight, can love at first sight be lust? Think about that.
We're going to get in
Think
that.
about that.
We're going to get into that later. We're going to get into that later.
Look at you.
And the
Your
reason
eyes is rolling.
the reason I
Okay.
the reason I say it, I had a person say that, and I've heard this before from multiple people, I have to be with someone a year and a half before, I can say I love them, or, I'm like, first of all, that sounds so asinine. You mean to tell me there's this body alarm in you where after 7 months, you're going to get this feeling, okay, I love you now. No.
I'm like this. With love, man, like love is a term that's thrown around every which way but loose, okay? However, a year, 2 years, like you said, a body alarm, like something goes off, is it life alert? I've fallen down. I fell in love. Like, you know what I mean? Like it goes off. No, I think that, if it's like, for instance, like a week or 2 weeks and it comes out where, so I love you. Well, you need to explain to me why you love me, at least in that aspect. Because if you don't know why you love me, then why say it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think at our age, though, when you know,
don't start speaking of ages.
No, you get. I'm going to read it off my phone because it's pretty small on the screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is coming in from Dave. Dave says, first, I'll say I believe it. I believe it might exist. Second, closest I can say I came was meeting someone at a party. When she walked in, it was like, bam, instant chemistry. Her group left suddenly, and then she had to take off. I didn't get a chance to ask for a number, managed to track her down through connections, and asked her out. Sexual chemistry was off the charts. And long story short, I think she was using me to cheat on someone. So,
Dave.
that went well, perhaps. Lust at first sight. Dave, I gave you the app, Smash and Dash. Use it.
But what did he say? What did he say, Laura? He said lust at first sight. You see what I'm saying?
Well, like I said, I'm going to get into that.
Now, my thing is that, yeah, you can look at a person and you can be instantly attracted from afar. Say, damn, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Laura. Oh my God.
I mean, look at me.
You know, the thing is that, you know, again, love at first sight. Remember, look at the term, love at first sight. You're seeing what you love, but you don't know what you're loving. Break that down.
I'm gonna get. Like I said, I got a lot to unpack here, brother. I'm not the doctor for nothing. I've been the man.
You're the guru. I'm sorry, bro.
Man for a long time. I got this.
Bro. I'm learning from you, though. You see how I'm getting my skills up?
I got you. I got you.
So what you got, John?
Okay. Now, like I said, psychologist / sex therapist Laura Fogel Mercy says how long it takes to fall in love with a person can vary depending on the individual and what their personal definition of the word love is.
Oh,
Okay.
did I not say that?
Well,
I said
No,
that, bro.
you didn't.
I did say that. I didn't say it
didn't.
scientifically, but I said that.
you didn't say it like
didn't
that,
say-
bro.
you didn't.
But,
No, I didn't say it like that. I couldn't say it like that. I ain't a scientist.
Well, I've been doing my own research.
But you're the guru.
Yeah, I've been doing my own research. And
Yeah.
here are some signs
Ooh.
to know if you fell or you are falling in love
Now, can I
at
ask you a
first
question?
sight.
How many signs do you got?
I got enough of them here. What's going on?
Because this is the guru signs of love. Go ahead. Spin it.
Okay. Well, first, you feel an instant attraction to the person.
I did say that.
Me.
And that's true. You do feel an instant attraction to them. Yeah, I can get down with that.
Yeah, of course. The attraction, the look. Okay.
Can you agree with that? Let me get a woman's perspective.
I can agree with that. When you're all done with your points, I can even tell some stories if you'd like.
Okay, great. Well, I do have a story. This is a love at first sight, and it doesn't happen. This is almost like a Disney tale. Okay. A ex-coworker of mine, had a house party. So he meets a young lady at the party.
Mm-hmm.
The party ends, and she never leaves. Never left. No, she never left. He helped her get her credit online. She had warrants. He took her to the police station, turned her in. Did I tell that story before?
It sounds so familiar.
She had warrants.
She had warrants. He turned her into the police station, bailed her out, got her, took care of all that, helped her get her credit back and everything. They got married, have a beautiful home, have a son. I mean, I told him that's almost like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. True story.
Laura, she had,
and it was love at first sight for him.
What was the? She had, well, I'm not gonna ask you.
I don't know what the warrants. I didn't even.
But she got warrants, and Laura.
Well, I could have a warrant, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to make you a good man.
Are you going to take?
He fell in love with somebody who was down on their luck, and
Yes.
he helped them regain their life. Now,
And
could that have gone horribly wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was the exception.
Of the rule.
She was the
Right.
exception, not the rule.
Right.
That's one thing that I have learned.
Right.
Is you're never the exception. You are always the rule.
Right.
Okay, let me move on to the next one. You feel an immediate connection to this person. Dave says the story of Bonnie and Clyde. Well, okay,
Yeah,
yes,
man.
I guess in love at first sight, you would have to feel an immediate connection with them.
Wait,
Laura?
what?
Yeah.
The second one was you feel an immediate connection to them.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, energy is energy. So, you can feel good energy, you can feel bad energy. Like I can feel the fact that you're giving me bad energy right now, but I love you so much that my good energy is like a Care Bear stare at you, where I'm hitting you right from the gut with all the love that I got in me.
All right. The next one. You
Mike,
feel drawn to this person, wanting to be around them more and more.
Yes.
I can agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a good thing too, because if you have that connection and energy with that person, and you want to be around them, mind you, females. Now we got to get a female perspective real quick on this one, because you know how you guys change like the weather. Come on.
Well, she has some stories, so.
Yep. Oh, we're going to get to your stories.
Yeah.
So but I agree.
Okay. The next one. Everything you're learning about this person has you captivated. Yeah, I agree with that too.
I do too.
They have you wide open. Yeah.
If they're telling great stories and you got stories to share back and forth, like some of the stories we're gonna hear from Laura.
That's part of that connection.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
You're building, the franchise of what you try.
The foundation.
Yeah, the foundation.
Yes.
I call it a franchise because it's a high rise.
Okay.
We're reaching the sun, baby.
You're already down with being in a relationship with that person. If it's love at first sight, why wouldn't you want to be in a relationship with that person?
I ain't gonna say all that though.
I'm going for it. Yes,
I'm gonna go for it.
Yes.
All right, y'all two can go for it, but I still got other things that I need to learn about before I can go to that parameter.
But you're in love with them, but you still need to learn more about it.
I'm in love and intrigued and invested, and I just feel as though there's more that I would like to learn and know.
Like I said, when you know, you know.
Exactly.
When you know, you fuck up.
And the next one is, you can tell the feelings for this person will linger even after they're gone.
See?
Yes, I agree.
Well, gone.
Whether when they're gone, whether it's
a
a conversation, whether it's a phone conversation, whether they leave to go to work or something, when they're gone, the feelings are still lingering around. This checklist is very encouraging. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that.
You know,
Dave's getting ready for a hot date.
Yeah, he is. He's taking all these. Wait till your stories come up, because he's taking all these notes right now. He's got a whole pad in front of him.
It's all right, brother. It's all right.
I just feel like with that, again, it's still like, for me, I just feel like, okay, it's still a lot to learn. Number one, yeah, you're in love with the person, stuff like that, but no.
Now you have to remember, and let me say this. We're talking about love at first sight, and you're talking about, still a lot I got to get there. And I'm not knocking you for that. But people spend a great deal of time investing in a relationship and learning it about a person and still get fucked up and still get hurt.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying with love at first sight. I think that with love at first sight, Laura can walk in and say, damn, she's gorgeous. She is phenomenal. Look at her. She is awesome. Can we put the camera on Laura real quick there, Warren? She is awesome. She is phenomenal. Look at the smile. Look at the eyes. Look at the grace. Look at the kiss being blown. She is my Marilyn Monroe. At the end of the day, this is things that I'm thinking. I'm lusting over Laura at first sight. I'm not looking at, because I don't know Laura.
You need to calm down over there.
No. What I'm saying, you get what I'm saying, Jay.
I know what you're saying. Tanya Grooms Butler says, not that encouraging, Dave. Mr. Entertainment, I'm with you.
Thank you, Tanya.
Tanya, you don't need a long time to figure something out.
Don't encourage him, Tanya.
But the last one,
she right.
The last one,
thank you, Tanya.
The last sign to know that you fell for
bottomless
love at first
trap
sight.
hole.
And nah, I'm serious with this one.
Okay.
You're completely okay learning the flaws, shortcomings, or qualities you dislike.
Say that one more time. You're good learning the qualities that you dislike, meaning like you can accept their flaws.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
You can accept their
Oh,
flaws.
100%. I mean,
Thank you.
Nobody's perfect.
Right.
Nobody's perfect, but at the same time, we all got separate flaws, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that, remember, we again, I'm gonna say this. Love at first sight is lusting at first sight. Because
no, I don't agree with that at all.
I do. I agree with it only because, you're looking at a person from afar. Okay, now you connect energy. And if you connect energy, now mind you, who's to say before you can even connect energy, you see Laura across the room. And you're like,
let me say this.
I'm in love with her.
Lust is equated to what? Sex. That's what you equate lust with. Sex.
Right.
Through this checklist, none of this.
So,
hold up. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
Through this checklist, sex didn't come up one time. We got instant attraction. We got immediate connection. We got feeling drawn to the person.
What does that all
Hold
lead
up,
to?
hold up, dog. Hold up. I'm driving this car here. Hold up. Now, you can. We talked about, the feelings that's going to linger.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about accepting flaws. Nothing sexual came up in this list. So that's why I don't, say that love at first sight is lust at first sight. Now, I can respect your opinion on it. Yeah, 100%. But I just don't agree with it.
The reason why I say lust at first sight is, and I know you got your checklist, and your checklist is dope. It's definitely dope because you're breaking down the aspect of love at first sight. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, from my perspective, and I can only give my own perspective, and, opinions are like assholes. We all have one. The only reason why I can say that is because, yeah, you can have love at first sight. Okay? Absolutely. But you don't know the person that you're in love with from at first sight. You're just looking at sight. You're going through vision. That's my thing. love at first sight. You're going through vision. You're looking at this person. You're like, damn, she's gorgeous. Her hair is flowing. You know, she got her hair. Look at her. She got her hair put up in a bun. It's sexy. All that. Her dress. Oh my God. She matched down to the shoes. All that. You don't even know this person just yet, but you have love at first sight.
Now
That's what I'm saying.
I understand this. Now let me ask you this, Lord, because he said you don't know anything about this person. How many people spend years in a relationship claiming to be in love, and in the end, when it ends, they really didn't know that person? Happens a lot.
Yes, I imagine that it would. I mean, you always hope that it doesn't happen to you. But there are plenty of people that, you know, spend so much time with their partner and then find out that they're a complete stranger. And that's sad. And, you know, that definitely brings into that brings into question, like, you know, mental illness and all that stuff, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Now, you had a story that you wanted to share with the listeners. Please.
Well, I can say I have two, actually.
Enlighten us.
I have one from my very early 20s. It did not end well. It ended with a very, very broken heart on my end. But when I was younger, when I was like 22 or 23, something like that, I was at a diner with a friend, and some of her friends walked in the door, and it was like as soon as this person walked through the door, it was like fireworks instantly went off.
Magic.
Literally, I probably looked like one of those like cartoons that got hit in the head with a
yeah,
hammer.
the eyes pop out, the tongue hit the table.
Well, I don't know about all that. It was just more like stars in the eyes.
Right.
And it turned out that they were, you know, not a very nice person. But I can safely say that what I felt was not lust. It felt like instantaneous love. Like, I just have to be with this person.
It's real.
Nothing else matters.
Now, with that, I gotta ask you this. So, like you said that, you know, you was at the diner with your friends and you saw this person walk in, and it was like a cartoon montage where the birdies are flying around your head and stuff like that. But then when you got with that person, you only looked at that person walking in. But when you got with that person, you found out that person wasn't the person that you predeemed him to be. Think about that.
Well, hold up. How long did it take for you? How long did it take for you to realize that person was not what you expected?
Good question. Great question.
Well, to be fair, I allowed myself to fall into the manipulation trap and the mental abuse trap. I actually didn't realize it until it was too late. And I was in a situation where I was very isolated and was made to feel like I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody but her.
Okay.
See, and the thing is that the point being, number one, was that love at first sight when that person walked in the room. But
I mean, it was a sad story, but it taught me a lot of important
life lessons. Yeah.
But I would like to share my story about Mike, if I may.
Oh, absolutely. Hell yeah.
I wouldn't call that love at first sight, being as I knew him for 10 years
and
prior.
Looking at Mike, love at first sight, I mean, Jesus Christmas. I had to deal with him tonight. John, you was here.
Yes, let her get into the story, please. Hey.
Sorry.
So
I had to.
So Mike was, however you want to say that, was a friend of my late husband.
Okay.
And so we knew each other through social circles and parties and stuff. We weren't like real close like that, me and him, but you know, we knew each other. And then he was at one of my Halloween parties, you know, obviously much later.
Right.
And he was doing this thing that he always did at parties where he chased after one of his ex-girlfriends to talk to her constantly and like isolate her from the crowd. Yeah, there's a lot of history there.
Okay.
I don't blame him for that. There's a lot of drinking going on and all that stuff.
No, I'm just intrigued.
But at the time, I was also very drunk.
I never knew this.
I went and I grabbed him.
Right.
and I pulled him away, and I took him into a separate room, the bathroom actually, to tell him, like, bruh, you need to calm down.
And he kissed you.
No, nothing like that.
Oh, man, I thought.
No. But he started talking, and he started saying I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but because it didn't matter what he was saying.
Right.
His loyalty to her and the way that you could tell that he had felt such emotion for her, I thought,
oh my God.
I don't know. It was just like a switch flipped, and I thought, I have to have him. He's anybody that can love this much for so long, they've been broken up a long time.
Right. Yeah.
Is really special.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there was just something about him in my drunken mind that said, that's mine now. I'm just gonna have him.
That's your magic in the air.
Yeah. And then I continued to stick my face in his continuously.
Wait. Oh, okay. Wait.
Well,
for a long time.
Let's unpack
until he
this
agreed
here
to
for a
date
second.
me.
Like you said, there was a quality about him that you saw how he loved so hard and he was so compassionate and how real, and you saw the conviction in him where you realized that, this is what I want in my life. This is someone that I can appreciate,
Right.
So you, like you said, you had to make him yours.
I mean, we're also talking about somebody that thought that they would never date again. I was very, very broken after my husband died.
Yeah, I know. We had a conversation, you and I, and again, I always extend my condolences, but we had a conversation, and you being the person that you are, being an awesome person, and then now with you and Mike together, two awesome people together, like, and then hearing this story now. The crazy part is I didn't know this story, so hearing this right here live is dope, man.
I don't even know if Mike fully understands
and he
story.
Probably didn't, because like you said, at the state he was in,
Well, the state he was, that was in October. He didn't agree to start dating me until the following February.
You had to put in that work.
I did. I put in a lot of work.
You had to put in that,
sure
and that's
did.
what relationships are about, putting in that work.
He just was there was just something about him that it
And
felt instantaneous to me that he was special and that I needed him and that we would be good together. I don't know
let that go.
I don't know what clicked in my brain, but it just felt right, and I wasn't ready to let it go.
What clicked in your brain was the difference of society today. You seen, you seized, you conquered. This is what needs to be done more. And the thing is that we talked about numerous things, you and I, and the thing is that with you and Mike having that union, that is awesome.
And we have a very, very strong relationships. It's not without its ups and downs, just like any other.
Like any relationship,
right?
Like any relationship is going to have its good and bad times.
But easily,
Absolutely.
once I got him to look at me as me and not Chris's girlfriend or Chris's wife, it just started to harmonize.
And you guys are doing what you guys got to do. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful
so
story.
I don't know if that's love at first sight, but it's a
No,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Right,
close to it.
Since we weren't
Like John said, I think I will take. I can. And remember, I've been against this all night, but I'll take that 100%. I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave it like that. I'll take that.
You were saying something.
I just we knew each other for a long time, but it still almost felt like that was the day that we first met. To me, that was the first time that I really we ever even had like longer than 2-minute conversation, or hey, let's get a shot together, or who's going to do this beer bong faster. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the kind of relationship that we had prior to that, was just seeing each other at parties.
Right.
Friends,
acquaintances. I would even go as far to say, I didn't really know much about him. He didn't really know anything about me, and then it was kind of like we met for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I love this podcast because we get down to the root of things, and This love at first sight has been an amazing topic to talk about tonight. I mean, we can have our disagreements on this, but I will say this for me, my opinion, when you meet a special someone and like my man Lonnie Moore said, that energy is right. You feel it. I mean, and you feel it in your inner core. And the chemistry is there, that conversation is right. They stay on your mind throughout the day. You know, you're all they think about. I mean, you can plan for a future like that. Trust me, you've been hit with love at first sight. It's a beautiful thing. Now, there are its downsides to it, you know, and that could be a topic for another program. But that's my opinion on it. And I'd like you guys to give your opinion on it first. Let me pass this over to the Queen, Laura. You give me your opinion on it.
On Love at First Sight?
Yes, on Love at First Sight.
I absolutely think it's real. And I think if you're lucky enough to have that happen to you, then you know what magic feels like.
That's beautiful. I like that. High five me on that one. There you go.
I mean, there's also the love at first sight. I mean, that we're talking about relationships here, but I feel like any parent should know what love at first sight feels like also when they have their child.
Yep.
Just as a side note, I know that's not really what we're talking about here, but it is that same kind of magic. And I hope that everybody feels that at least once in their life.
Mr. Entertainment?
I'll say this. I do believe in love at first sight. I just believe that love at first sight is what the name is deemed as, love at first sight. Because my wife, you know, I've been with her 17 years. You know what I'm saying? You know, we grew up together. We've been together since, you know, I graduated high school already, and, you know, she was in her 12th grade year. So I ain't going to try to string this out too long, but I'm going to spring this out as fast as I can. When I saw her, you know, I instantly thought she was gorgeous. You know, things she do still to this day, I think about when I first met her back then. You know what I'm saying? So for me, love at first sight, you know, it's a sight thing. It's sight. You know, again, remember, you know, it's about the person at the end of the day. So the person, like you said, Laura, and you hit something that was very heavy, where you said that, you know, love at first sight, and you ran to this person was not who you deemed him to be. And that's the thing, because it's love at first sight. So I believe in it, but I'm cautious with it, and I'll leave it as that.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's fair enough. That is fair enough. Well, that is what we have for you tonight. I want to thank my two guests for joining me tonight.
Thank you, brother.
I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. You can find this podcast and past episodes on, Facebook Live and all major streaming platforms. I hate when I do that. All major streaming platforms. Now, I'm going to leave you until next Monday at 8, and until then, be good to each other. Jamie, play me out.